So, wholeness and light, love, abundance and wealth, true talk and true thoughts. Hope you all been out there wising up and rising up. Today is Saturday, the first day of August 2026. And I just came back from Fresh Time Market. I picked up a few items, the other two of which are not in this picture. And going from right to left, I already had those first three items. So I already had sea moss. I've been taking that for quite a while now. I got introduced to it when I used to live in Brownsville, Brooklyn, / Crown Heights, Brooklyn. I used to live in that area back when I was going to college. And I used to go to this Chinese market that was also ran by some Caribbean folks. And I would always peruse around, and that sea moss, before I even heard of Dr. Sabi, it really drew my attention. So I've been using that for over like 14 years now. The chlorophyll, I've been using that as of late as well. It's filled with a lot of copper. It's good for your body odor, and it's also good for the absorption of minerals and copper and purifying and cleansing you from the inside out. Now the Shilajit, I like to call it She Legit because she is legit. It contains almost as many minerals as sea moss does. I believe sea moss has about 92 of the 102 or whatever minerals, and Sheila G has 85 of those trace minerals. So it's not as much as sea moss, but it's pretty darn good. But in addition to having those trace minerals, Sheila G also has the fulvic acid and the humic acid. It's made of decomposed plants, and is also made of rock minerals, etc. Now, what I just got is what says gut support. I've been researching and thinking about and hearing about and learning about probiotics a lot. Probiotics, prebiotics, postbiotics, but in particular probiotics and the importance of gut health. Back when I worked at it was pretty much a pill company. You know, we had to wear the safety glasses and the white coats and the hairnets. You know, it was like we was in some secret movie making it was like we was in New Jack City or something like that, you know, bagging up pills and all that stuff. But yeah, I used to work there, and I had a coworker. We always worked together, and he would always tell me, man, whatever you do, make sure you get your gut correct. Because I would always be talking about health. He said, that's cool, that's good, but make sure you can absorb all those minerals that you're supposed to get from that food. Because a lot of us, we have a terrible gut biome, and we don't, your gut is your second brain. Your stomach is your second brain, right? Your esophagus. So we used to talk about it all the time, and we used to always talk about, what is it called? Kimchi. We used to talk about sauerkraut, kefir. I got some kefir in the refrigerator right now. These things that are very good for your gut biome. You know, using certain vinegars and whatnot, ACV, apple cider vinegar. You know, all that's good for your stomach, for your gut. But what really drew me towards this bottle that we have here is that it's primarily made of fulvate oxide. Fulvate soil. So that gut support is primarily made of fulvate soil, ancient soil, and the Sheila G is made of decomposed plants that contains fulvic acid, and is also made of rock minerals, etc. Right? So you got fulvic acid with the Sheila G, and you got fulvate soil, ancient soil. When I say ancient soil, you know, it's just they've been using, you know, that for a long time. You know, this fulvate, you know, I was researching fulvate. That's Fulvate, and they use it so that plants can absorb more nutrients, so that the plants can grow. So both of those, the gut support and the Sheila G, help prepare the cells in the stomach, in the body, and it prepares the way, and it helps for us to absorb the minerals as we're supposed to absorb them. So just two things, you know, I was talking about my coworker. at the pill company I used to work for, like I said, he was always honing in on the importance of gut health. And in addition to that, he would always say, make sure you chew your food. And so many of us, even if we're into health, even if we're into fitness, we are not properly chewing our food. Chew your food. Chew your food. It's like when you chew your food, you're going to eat less, because by the time you get to 20 minutes, your brain is going to register that signal that, okay, I had enough. But when you're just gulping down food, you're like, man, I'm still hungry. Why? Because your brain hasn't received that signal. You're eating so fast. So the faster you eat, the more you're going to want to eat. But the more you take your time to chew your food, the less you're going to need to eat. Because for one, you're going to be receiving more nutrients, because your body doesn't have to use nutrients, energy to break down the food that you're eating, right? So chewing is, man, it's a beautiful science. Chewing our food allows us to break it down. It allows us to eat less, and it allows us to absorb more. See, that's the key. Eat less, absorb more. Eat less, absorb more. If our gut isn't in check, we could be eating, but we won't be absorbing as much. If we're eating too fast, we could be eating a lot, and we can get done fast, but we're not going to absorb a lot. So chew your food, protect and respect your gut. And when you start to drink things like liquid chlorophyll and you start to make your sea moss, you're going to really receive the benefits of them. Now, in addition to this, I bought, some of my regulars. I bought some choline with inositol. I've been taking that for a couple years now. And I don't want to say taking it, because it's not like a prescription pill. I look at what people call supplements as, it's like body armor. When I say body armor, I mean like real armor. I'm already strong without it, but I'm going to be even stronger with it whenever I take these so-called supplements. So I'm not lacking anything, X, Y, and Z, but it's a boost. It's a real good boost. We'll talk about that later. But I also got some I also got some zinc that has vitamin C in it. I picked that up, and I got a few things up in here, man. I was one of them people that never wanted to use what you call supplements, because I was like, oh, that's cheating, or the flex is, and it's still here today, that people want to brag that they don't take anything. It's not like, these are steroids or drugs and like that. This is all health stuff. So I look at it all as food, like my maca, my ashwagandha. I take that every day. I mean, it'd be certain days where I won't take it, so the effect can, be as strong when I take it again. But long story short, that's all I wanted to say to you all. Back to that saying, eat less, absorb more. And you can only do that when you are chewing your food, chewing the right food, and your gut you have been protecting and respecting so that it can further break down the food and extract all the nutrients. So wholeness and light, love, abundance, and wealth, true talk and true thoughts. Make sure y'all out there wising up and rising up. Jill.